Here.
Tapping out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold it back, guys. Sorry.
I'll see you boys on the other side.
All right, welcome back to Wiseman Company, everyone. And today we're going to talk about helmets. This is not my forte. I got Eric from Barrel and Hatchet with me today. This is his forte. You guys don't want to hear me ramble on about this kind of crap, so I'm going to ask Eric a bunch of questions about helmets. I just recently finished my setup. He was a ton of help getting to this point, again, because I'm just not familiar. This is not my jam. Eric's been doing this a long time. And for those of you out there that are familiar with night vision, helmet setups, etc., it can be really expensive. And also, if you buy the wrong stuff, you can be really uncomfortable. Okay, Eric, so what do you think some key ingredients are for a helmet? Like, what is essential? Obviously, the night vision is important, and we'll get into night vision a little bit, but we're just talking about just the helmet right now. What are some key ingredients for everyone out there? Like, they need to know this. You have to have this in a helmet.
So I think the biggest couple things that are big considerations for you with a helmet is, one, obviously price point is going to be big, but your protection. Does the helmet actually protect you? If you're going to spend the money on it, you're wearing a ballistic helmet for protection, it needs to be able to be rated.
Okay, so you're anti-bump?
I am anti-bump.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anti-bump, and what is the level of protection you're going to get out of the helmet?
So it'll stop like all pistol calibers type stuff.
So
shotgun.
3A.
Yeah, exactly. So like and that should be the test. So if you see any test where it's like not working up against 9mm, 115 grain or 147, then that's an issue. And there's two types of helmet materials that they make them out of. Polyethylene is going to be a lighter material. Kevlar is more durable, and it actually gives you better protection, but it's heavier.
And Kevlar's been around the longest. Polyethylene's kind of like the newer.
It is, yeah.
And we're seeing some hybrids of that too, I guess?
Yeah, so OpsCore used to make like a hybrid, I think they still do, a polyethylene Kevlar carbon fiber helmet that allows protection, but also the weight. There are also helmets that are just completely polyethylene. So the new Army combat helmet is very light, but it's also almost completely polyethylene.
You're going to want it to fit, and you're going to want it to be comfortable.
Yeah, comfortable, yeah.
I'm not going to name brands, but I've worn some helmets in the past, and they were absolute death traps. And Eric was like, get rid of that thing because you're not going to make it all night with that on your head. You're constantly going to be adjusting it, taking it off. You're not going to want to wear it. It just wasn't worth it.
I mean, in the past, you and I, when we would go out and do night vision stuff, you had the helmet on, and I'm like, enjoying what we're doing, and you just couldn't focus.
Miserable.
You're so miserable.
Just
focused
miserable.
on your pain.
Comfort is a big deal.
Yeah.
Padding, like we said, comfort is key. There's a lot of different padding out there. Everyone's head's a different shape. I have a square head, literally like a cube. Maybe that's why helmets don't fit me so good. Touch on padding real quick.
Sure. So this is the OpsCore new pads. I don't like to have a single pad where it can't be separated. And the reason for that is if I'm running my headset under the helmet or ever want that option, I need to be able to move those center pads out of the way for my headset band.
It's like a channel.
Yeah, so like you want to have the ability to be able to move this around. If you have great padding, you can have a super heavy helmet, and if it's counterbalanced and has great padding, it almost feels like you're not really wearing that much. Yeah. I mean, last night you were like, man, I forgot this thing was on my head.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into mine in a little bit, but big difference, big contrast from prior helmets I had to this one I have right now.
Yeah.
But padding is key. A lot of great padding out there. Eric's specifically talking about, they'll send it in like bits and pieces, so you can kind of place, it's like a puzzle, place the padding where you need it. Again, everyone's head size is different.
Yeah, the biggest thing you want to avoid is hot spots. So if you have bad padding, you're going to get hot spots, and then you'll have a migraine. It's almost like a ripple effect in the water. That migraine will start at the hot spot and then spread throughout your head. And
price point, because you guys are always going to ask, so like a ballistic helmet, what kind of prices are we looking at? Like, what's the spectrum from 500 to 2,000, 500 to 1,500?
I would say 500 to 2. So like, Team Wendy's.
And that's strip, nothing on it.
Yeah, that's nothing. Like, you're just starting out. So if you already wasted a bunch of money on night vision, or not wasted, but you invested a bunch of money on night vision, investing into a helmet is like kind of a bittersweet thing, you know?
Eric has had quite a few helmets, by quite a few more than the average dude. He's probably gone through 3,
Yep.
right? What do you got right now? This is your main squeeze?
Yeah. So this is the OpsCore high cut. It's not the Fast SF, it's actually their older model, which actually has that combination of Kevlar and polyethylene and carbon fiber. So on the back, I'm running a Core Survival Hellstar strobe. Strobes are expensive. There's a lot cheaper options, like Unity Tactical makes a cheap strobe. It's disposable, but it lasts you 200 hours.
You can get them on our website.
Hey, look at that. Good plug. So also have a counterweight that I made. It's super easy to make.
You have a video on how to make this too.
Yeah. So you can check it out on Instagram. I have a battery pack that I run to power my ARNVGs, or articulating RNVGs. I have a Petzl helmet light. It's kind of expensive. I don't think it's really worth it, but got it for free, so threw it on there.
Why wouldn't you say it's worth it?
It's just not bright enough. And also this movable arm starts to snap right here at the base, and then the batteries don't last very long.
Okay, that being said, do you still recommend the guys put some sort of light on their helmet?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would, for me, you know, a lot of guys like that backlight where they put a Surefire Ultra X300 on their light to light up the room. I've never done that. I know guys that have done that. I usually use this for like reading a map, doing a red lens, something where I can do something real quick, look at it with a red light, and then turn it off. But you can also just wear a headlamp, you know, put it under, wear it around your neck like a necklace, and that'll serve the same purpose. I'm running parachuter gear, retention straps. These are actually great for if the night vision falls off for whatever reason, they're not gonna be lost. So
Essential.
You should have some form of retention, or not retention, but a lanyard. And then I'm also running the AMP ears, but I have the Peltor headset with the AXL adapter, so I can run that. And then here's another red lens that I actually taped to my microphone that I can use, and I can turn that on. That's that cool. Allows me to, just with my mic, wherever I'm looking, I can have a red lens.
That's clever.
Yep. So, old trick of the trade.
Okay, cool. And the mount is obviously a Wilcox mount on there.
Mount, yep.
The big topic right now is the Chinese Wilcox mounts. What do you think?
I think if you have a good lanyard, if it fails, then at least you have it lanyarded to your helmet. So I would try it, you know?
Keep in mind, the knockoff mounts, you can get probably 5 of them for the price of a real Wilcox.
Yeah. And
this isn't advice. We're not telling you what to do. Like Eric said, make sure no matter what, you have a lanyard on your night vision. It's expensive, but the price point is staggering.
Yeah.
Between the two.
Yeah, and it's a gamble. You know, sometimes you might get a good one, sometimes you might get a bad Chinese knockoff. So money's hard to get out there right now. It's not really going that far, so it's worth at least looking into it.
Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna get into my helmet setup. Eric helped me with this. The goal here was to save money, and I'm pretty sure I did that, and it worked out well. I ran Eric's night vision class last night with it, and I was very comfortable. I was very confident with my equipment. And I gotta say, like I said previously, with prior setups, I wasn't confident in my equipment. It was uncomfortable, and I was just messing it with the whole time, like the whole night. This was comfortable, it was well balanced, and it was not something I had to be concerned about. So, Eric, let's go into this a little bit. Helmet. Now this is, you're gonna notice right away, older style helmet, right?
Yeah. So this is actually the mid-cut helmet. Delta used to use it during the GWAT towards the later end of the years before they went to OpsCore. It gives you a little bit more ballistic protection, but the good thing about this is Gentex actually makes this helmet, the same company that makes OpsCore, and it's completely made out of Kevlar. So for it being made out of Kevlar, it's actually really light. And so we have the OpsCore rails for the ACH mid-cut. So if you guys are wondering, you have ACH, which is a standard Army helmet that they used to have. Then they have a high-cut version where there's no ears, kind of like an OpsCore, and then they have a mid-cut. So we thought we were getting the high cut, and it just ended up being the mid, but it actually,
which I wasn't upset with. Yeah, I really don't mind. And I run my ears underneath it. That was one thing I wanted to do because I wanted to be able to take the helmet off and still retain my ear pro on my head. So
did you have any issues with the band underneath?
No, and I thought I would.
Yeah.
I really did. Now this band's thin. I thought that was going to be a concern because you're stacking tolerances, right? Yeah. 2 surfaces rubbing against each other. And again, I didn't think about it all night.
Yeah.
We got this helmet from Own the Night, and it came with the rails. You can add it on to your order. They shipped out of New York. Shipping was good. About $500 for the helmet, and then $100 for the rail. as opposed to if you're paying, you know, OpsCore prices, what are we talking here?
$16.50 minimum.
Yeah, so save some money that way. Got some ballistic protection and something to hold my nods. It came with the mount on the helmet, and I didn't have to go piece that out or find that.
Which is a great deal, by the way.
Yeah,
$500.
Yeah, right. And the rails simply integrated in with these 2 screws. I mean, I'm not handy at all, and we did this in probably 15 minutes. Yeah. Okay, let's go into some of the other pieces. I just have an old L3 light here on the side. It's a white light. Hardly ever use it unless I'm doing like admin tasks. I got the strobe on top. This is the, what is this?
Hellstar 6.
Hellstar 6, yep. Eric's let me borrow his battery pack. Got that on the back. I don't have the cord hooked up. It's more of a counterweight right now, but I'm gonna need another counterweight sometime in the future. So that'll probably be an addition. And then up front, RNVGs. And here's a little disclaimer. This is the Chinese knockoff Wilcox Mount.
Yeah.
And I've been running it for the last 2 weeks. Locks up tight, everything fits, and the finish is fine. No issues whatsoever. Now, again, time will tell. Time is the biggest test for equipment, and I'll keep you updated. But I wanted to find out. I had to see like what the difference is. You know, $500 for a mount or $100 for a mount. Is it that big of a difference? Can it stack up? Can it compete? Again, we'll find out.
What kind of pads are you running in there?
So these are the pads that came with it. These are the, what is it? Zorbium foam or whatever is Epic liner system.
Epic liner.
And this is an all one piece. So this is from Team Wendy. It's all one piece. I didn't cut a channel out for my pad. I didn't need to. Might do that in the future. Not sure yet. It did ship with some other pads with it. I messed with them a little bit. Went back to this, and I was pleasantly surprised. So that's what the padding I got in it. Parachuter gear nod locks on the side. Nothing fancy, but it got the job done for sure. All right, Eric, in the whole prepared citizen spectrum, how important is the helmet?
The helmet is extremely important, and the ballistic helmet is extremely important. If you're wearing plate carriers and you have body armor, you should be having armor to protect your head. If you want to look at a 21st century war, what every prepared citizen is trying to, be ready for to kind of defend the homeland is in Ukraine right now. You're seeing nobody doesn't wear a helmet. Everybody has a helmet on. Everybody's trying to stack as much protection as they possibly can. Yep. So this is going to stop frag. It's going to stop pistol. Even a glancing rifle shot will go. So if you don't have this on and you're not comfortable, you don't have good solid protection, and you're wearing weight with a helmet that actually doesn't work, that's where you want to make sure you do your research. And it's going to complete the set. Like, you got to make sure you have helmet protection.
Yeah, and everyone's always like, oh, put on your gear, try on your gear, make sure it fits, it works. I would say with a helmet, it's like doubly important.
Super important.
Like, you got to put this stuff on, walk around the house in your boxers and your Crocs with your helmet on, mow your lawn with your helmet on, take the dog for a walk, take the trash out. Like, you got to find out where the hot spots are, because if you have to wear this thing in a class for 4 hours, 5 hours, you don't want to be miserable. Yeah. Trust me, take it from me, you don't want to be miserable. Some of the cool companies that you'll see represented on these helmets.
We're actually, Barrel and Hatchet actually sponsored our night vision classes by Advanced Night Vision, which is where Ben actually also got his night vision through. So if you guys are interested in night vision, hit them up or hit us up, and we can hook you up. And then also Core Survival, the Hellstar 6 strobe. They're an awesome company. They're actually local here in Florida, and obviously their stuff has been working. So highly recommend. If you are going to get into strobe, this is pretty much the golden standard.
Parachuter Gear, another great company making the nod locks. I've done reviews on parachuter gear stuff in the past. Eric has. Great company out of Texas, good sew shop. We carry some of their products on our website as well. So do your research. Don't just take our word for it. This is just a testimony of 1 and 2. Talk to your buddies. If you can try this stuff on, I don't know if that's even possible, but like, if you can go and try this stuff on somewhere, borrow a friend's, it's really going to help you make a decision on what you want to buy.
I mean, even if you have to go and find an old ACH that still is good, find a surplus stop or have a relative, it's better than nothing. Yep. So, wore ACH for a long time, and it got the job done.
All right, guys, thank you for watching. Go check out Eric's channel, Eric and Roy's channel, Barrel and Hatchet. They're doing great stuff over there. It's infinitely better than this channel. I can't even believe you're still here. Go to wisemencompany.com. A lot of great gear on our website. That's the best way to support us, and we appreciate all that support. We'll see you on the next video.